picked out a few news articles. This is the Kings of Rice,
Yeah, this is Ultima.
and this is Masterpiece Game. No, this is not Masterpiece Gaming Theory. Well, technically it is, but it's MGT Cast.
Yeah, MGT cast.
MGT Cast, and so for a while we've been trying to find like larger articles to do and talk about, but so we decided to do basically like articles around the net kind of thing. Um, for so technically right now for us it's Monday. So we're gonna do some at least two articles and then something that Ultima found on Reddit. So let's get started. So the first one on the docket, I found that says this comes from my articles. The two articles I found come from CNET. So I'm gonna post those relevant article links in the description. So basically the tagline, it says we're ready. We're ready. Microsoft says about Xbox One and PS4 crossplay. So basically, what it says, an Xbox boss has come out to say, an Xbox boss, that's funny, has come
Mm.
out to say again that Microsoft has technological pieces in place to support Xbox One and PS4 crossplay, and now all that's left to do is to sort out the politics. So, you know, and as a platform, we don't force developers to release at any point. It'll be when the developers are ready. So basically, like our previous article where we talked about like the potential for cross-platform play, and it seemed very likely, and then like at the same very likely, but at the same time it would like work on so many different levels.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, so basically it's like it just says asked directly if all the technology required for Xbox One PS4 crossplay were in place. They said absolutely we're ready. Rocket League is the first game, and it's a heavily network oriented game. Any title that wants to update their game includes cross network play. Any title that wants to launch soon and take advantage of that, we're ready. So basically, Microsoft's got all the pieces in place. You know, now now we really have to see if like we have to really wonder if Sony is gonna. I want to, at least in my terms in mind, it's basically like, are they ready to pull their heads out of their asses and like let's do something together, you know?
No.
Um,
I don't think
because
so.
because honestly, like I think for certain games, like it doesn't have, obviously, what they're saying is it doesn't have to be all games.
Yeah.
It could be like for games that would benefit from it. Like Rocket League is one of them because like it's I've never played Rocket League. I mean, I know people who have. We actually have the game, but like I've never played it. So I mean, I've seen plenty of videos. It looks very fun and very competitive. So that would make the the I guess you could say the player base like much higher because you'd be like, oh, now my friends that play PS4 can get whipped by me on Xbox One.
Yeah.
So I mean, what's not to love, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think most gamers would want it, but
I mean, I
what
guess
you're
it's
gonna
I guess
do.
it's really up to the assholes behind the desk, right?
Yeah.
Um, Rocket League was announced as being one of the first games to support Xbox PC crossplay, and there was no crossplay support for Rocket League's. There was no crossplay support for Rocket League's Xbox One edition at launch, while the invitation has been sent to Sony as well. It says, in addition to natively supporting cross-platform play between Xbox One and Windows 10 games that use Xbox Live, we are enabling developers to support cross-network play as well. Um, Microsoft's Chris Carla explained at the time, this means that Xbox One and Windows 10 using Xbox Live will be able to play with any players on different online multiplayer networks, including other consoles and PC networks. So, I mean, it says here that Microsoft has extended an invitation to other platforms and networks to connect to Xbox, to connect, with the cross-platform. It says
Yeah.
Sony has yet to commit opening up PlayStation Network to Xbox players. It doesn't. It's crazy. I think the problem with this is like the problem
Mm.
that I'm seeing is that like it's like, oh, if we mesh our networks, then let's just say it like this. When you have an issue, right?
Yeah.
You don't like when it's like huge. You really don't want to admit it's huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say the thing that Sony is like, is trying to back away from is like, they have all these problems, right? and so like you know, with them having fucked up issues with their network. So I want to say that maybe they're a little drawn apart from it because like they're like, oh, what if like Microsoft is trying to take us over, you know, by making us like
Mm.
use their shit. It's like, no, I don't want to use your shit. That's like that's almost like what it seems like. I mean, how would you think like they like you know why it seems like they you know haven't really you know talked about it at all, at least on Sony's end.
Yeah.
I mean, Microsoft has been like, you know, I guess in a way extending that olive branch in this matter. It doesn't have to be for all things, obviously. Just in
Mm.
this matter. They're just like, we're just saying, hey, let's make our player bases happy. It doesn't have to be like, you know, this is not ending the console war, not by any means.
Yeah.
But why do you think it seems like, you know, like Sony is holding out or like they haven't like, you know, really said anything?
Probably two reasons. I think I mentioned this before. Is one, they're probably concerned with, what about how does this factor into our cut and stuff like that?
Okay.
Like of money or like, again, if if it's something that Microsoft has developed and it's like they're opening it up to developers. It makes it sound like,
Oh, they're taking all of our,
well,
they're trying to take our, you know,
they're
our
gonna
cut.
that means games being developed for our system, you know, across third party games being developed for our system could end up, having a cut go to Microsoft for X reason or
So
whatever.
it's like fucking money issues. So it's about
Yeah.
the money then.
That, and on top of that, because right now the PS4 has such a strong lead over everything else, I feel like
So that maybe they're thinking that like Microsoft
it's.
is trying to piggyback their success
I mean, I guess that
in a
could be
way,
that too.
in a
Yeah,
way.
I mean, it could be that, or it's just like the fact that, like, um, it's like, it's like if there's a student in the class who has an A+ and gets perfect grades on everything, you know, and then the B+ student is like, hey man, why don't we study together? It's like, what is the A+ student? Like what? Well, I'm already getting perfect grades. I really don't get anything from working with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
But not by any way is
even if
PlayStation
it's
the A plus
helpful to
student. But
everyone as a
anyway,
whole, necessarily, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I mean, not to, it's unfair because, like, everyone gives Microsoft crap, and anytime they do something that isn't like, so anytime Microsoft does anything questionable, it's like, oh, they Microsoft, and then they change the S to like a $, and then like, oh, Microsoft cares about his money, and it's like everyone cares about his money, you
Money
know?
makes the world go round.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like, why do you think Sony doesn't have EA access? For no reason other than the fact that they thought
Not
it
make the
would
money.
it would compete with their PlayStation Now rental crap. So they
Why
said,
rental crap? What?
I don't know. They had like
Why?
this. I don't know. They were this like PlayStation Now
how
stupid thing. I
how
don't
does
know if
that,
you
how
know.
does that? Well, anyway, that's for something else. So
But I'm saying like that was their like they said, oh, we don't think it's a good value for our customers, but really like everyone knew it was like, okay, it's in a way it's a competing service with something you already have, so you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess for them, I think they feel like, well, we're in a cushy spot. Why do we want to do anything, even if it's what our fans want? you
yeah.
know, we're already in a good spot, so why do we shouldn't even bother helping you?
Okay, so now, let's quickly move on. It says responding to Microsoft's invitation, Sony issued an encouraging but indecisive statement.
Hmm.
PlayStation has been supporting cross-platform play between the PC on several software titles, starting with Final Fantasy XI on the PS2 and PC back in 2002. It said, "We'd be happy to have the conversation with any publisher or developer who are interested in cross-platform play." but here's the
What
thing.
what
It almost
what's the conversation you need to
it,
have?
it almost sounds like they don't want to talk to Microsoft directly, but they want to talk to the third party people and then they talk to Microsoft. That's almost what it seems. They almost want, at least for me, it almost sounds like they just want to avoid talking directly to Microsoft.
To me, it just seems like they want to give like these answers that seem hopeful and whatnot, but they never really want to get around to it. And then they'll just say, "Well, there were some issues," and like, they'll try to keep all the things very hush hush, and then they'll just come up with things like, "Oh, well, we couldn't quite work out this or whatever the fudge."
I mean, almost like how Sony and Nintendo had trying to make a console together.
Yeah,
I don't want to not to throw any dirt, not to throw any shade at Sony, but that shit happens.
I mean, yeah,
All right, so for anyone who eventually sees this, leave us a comment asking like, what would you like to see for an Xbox Live PlayStation Network crossplay? What games would you
hmm
want to see? So moving on to the next article. So did you know? And I didn't know this. I mean, Ultima didn't know this. Did you know that California's Great America is going to get a Mass Effect attraction?
yeah, I didn't know that at all.
Weird, right?
Right?
So it says the amusement park's Great America has released a new video for its 4D Mass Effect attraction, which opens this spring. As announced previously, the ride is called Mass Effect New Earth, and it's described as a 4D holographic journey. But what's that mean? So basically, it comes with a video that I'm not gonna post on the thing because that's I got a strike for some. I did get like a note from fucking YouTube saying that, oh, don't do that, or we're not gonna let you monetize the video. So I'm just not gonna do that. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna put the article in the description so you can see the commercial yourself. And it says, "Welcome aboard Mass Effect's New Earth at California's Great America, where anyone can be an explorer," says the narrator. "Please prepare for an immersive 4D holographic across the galaxy if you dare." So why does that sound like, like almost like the like say like, soaring over California or fucking or that Star Wars ride at Disneyland, where you sit down and then you just like go through like a moving capsule.
hmm
What is it? I mean, that's what it sounds like. And it says visitors will climb aboard a motion-based seating and wear 3D glasses. Live performers will curate the journey and interact seamlessly with the next generation 3D visual. In addition to the motion seating, the ride will have high-tech sound and other 4D effects. Video game publishers are increasingly turning to theme parks to extend their franchises. This, in fact, EA's second amusement park ride, as an interactive 3D experience based on Plants vs Zombies, is opening this spring at Carowinds theme park in North Carolina. And also, in 2015, Nintendo announced a partnership with Universal Theme Parks announced a partnership with Universal Theme Parks, and while Ubisoft is building its own theme park in Malaysia with Assassin's Creed and Rabbids attractions. So,
Malaysia. I didn't know Ubisoft was so big over there.
because aren't they like a European company?
I thought so or
Yeah, they're
something
like
like
French or
that.
something, aren't they?
Yeah, it might be
Um,
Canadian. I don't know.
French Canadian. So what do you think? Does it sound as exciting, or does it not sound as exciting as it sounds?
I mean, like, I don't know. It's.
I mean, what does it sound like the Back to the Future ride, or fucking or
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like. Which is like, I mean, that's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I,
I mean, I
I
guess
don't.
you have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, like, I guess I'm just.
I guess I'm just looking for something a little bit more exciting, right?
No,
I guess
it's not
not that
like
way, but
I want more out of a video game attraction necessarily. Like I think that's fine. I think that's right there. I mean, that's like, it's kind of like Star Tours in a way. Um, but I guess what I'm actually confused about is why they chose Mass Effect. Because like, don't get me wrong, I love Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 and 3 are some of my favorite games.
don't hate me, but I didn't care for it.
Yeah. Um, I didn't really care for the first one, but you know, 2 and 3 are my jam. It just seems like they could have done any sort of like they could have done a lot of different franchises for this ride.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know if they were like, oh, we need a video game. I don't know if someone came up with the idea, right, and they sold the rights to, you know, I don't know. But like, I guess I'm just confused why Mass Effect when like if they just wanted to see. I guess that's the thing. Like, did they come up with this idea for a ride and then they were like, okay, what what can we brand it with? Or was it someone had an idea for a Mass Effect ride and the idea was well fleshed out, and then they were like, yeah, you know what, we want to do that. We'll pay you for your,
Yeah, like, and they had to find out where they wanted to have it or who would want to
yeah.
take it.
I mean, it sounds fine. Like, like those, I like those types of rides personally. I think it's fine. It's interesting because I think we'll know a little bit more when Mass Effect Andromeda happens, because like I guess I'm like, like the way things end in Mass Effect 3, and I'm like, is this happening when Shepard's around? Is this after this, like way after the fact?
Yeah, because it's called, the weird thing is it's called New Earth.
Yeah, see, that's, I don't.
But I guess we'll find out. Or
Yeah.
or maybe we can just, like actually watch I mean, I didn't actually watch the commercial, so I mean, we can hash some things out from the commercial once, once we get around to it. Or just like looking at the article itself and then like, trying to hash out what we think through the article. And it also says that like this attraction at Great America, it features the world's largest 3D LED screen.
That's cool.
So, the cool thing is it's like like you said, the ride was produced in partnership with Electronic Arts and Mass Effect developer BioWare. So they set out to do this kind of thing.
Okay.
So, but the thing is like, who really had the idea, right? Like,
Yeah.
who wanted this to happen? But I guess in a way, like, we kind of don't really know.
Yeah,
But
well, I guess as I think about it, EA
the worst gaming
is,
company in America.
yeah. Well, I know they have, because I've tested games for them. Like they're right in Redwood City. Is this Paramount, like the Great America that's near where we live?
Yeah, California's Great America.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's like a, hey.
No, hold on, really
Maybe
quick.
this.
The question is there another Great America in California?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Okay, just thought I'd ask because I don't know. I didn't know. That's why I
don't
was
know if
asking.
Great America is like a series of chains. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if it's like
Well, that's
Six Flags or not.
Well, that's what's Google. That's what's Google's for.
Yeah. But then maybe what it is like I said, I know EA's in like Redwood City, which I don't think is that far from.
Well, it just says it's in Santa Clara, so.
Yeah. So, maybe this is like a, hey, we wanna look into producing theme park attractions, and this is sort of like their first branching out, because then maybe they're trying to feel out like how popular it could be, and maybe if it'll be feasible down the road for them to have their own theme park, and so they're just picking the closest theme park to them. I don't know. Maybe that's what this is about. This is like a test run, kind of.
That, or maybe or they can like incorporate VR into it later down the road.
Yeah.
Wow, can you imagine an EA theme park? I don't know.
I don't know. Hated theme park in America, and there would be tons of customers.
Dude, what makes me laugh is just that in general. It's like, can you imagine the EA theme park?
Everyone's unhappy, but they constantly are shelling money out towards it.
Yeah, it's like going to Marine World. I fucking hate that place now, dude. It's not even called Marine World anymore.
What's it called?
It's called fucking what the hell is it called suddenly? Six Flags
Discovery Kingdom.
Yeah, or something like that.
The heck seems stupid like that.
Like Six Flags, like used to be called Marine World. You know how many times we went and fucking like, how many times we went back in the day as a field trip? I fucking hate that place now. I mean, some people would be like, "Why? It's a theme park. You have fun there." But fuck, we went there so many times, dude. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess in a way, let's see if there's a date, but no, it just says it's coming to California's Great America. So I mean, that's really it.
Okay.
Outside of that, and so
We'll see
last,
where they go with that.
okay, so lastly on the docket, we have something from Reddit. So um, tell us what it is.
Okay. Um, give me a second here. Okay, so there it is. So, occasionally, you know, I on Reddit, I like to go to Ask Reddit a lot
By the
because,
ways of horror
in my
for Reddit.
opinion, it's one of the most interesting subreddits because every once in a while you just come across people with like interesting stories or you come across interesting questions and it's nice to read other people's thoughts on it.
Or you run into a fucking like 10-foot water monster.
Yeah, yeah, or you get trolled by a 5 paragraph story that ends with them turning into a Loch Ness monster.
Really
Um,
engaging stories sometimes.
yeah.
Anyway,
So sometimes I just look through like the what questions there are about video games. So one of them was, what game do you recommend that you think no one else here will? Well, obviously, within the context of that, they were talking about anyone else in the thread, but like so just in general, kind of like, what's a game you'd recommend that you don't think just about anyone else would throw out as a recommendation to people? Like, you know, not necessarily an obscure game, but just a game that people are really like, you need to play this. You like never heard anyone be like, bro, check this game out.
so I mean, to begin with, like when asked, I was like, it was like, oh, like what would you like? I was like, damn, what would I do? And I was like, snapped right in my head. And the fucking game that I have that like I knew no one else that had it, the Kirby Air Ride for the Nintendo GameCube. It came out in 2003 in October.
Yeah, I didn't have it.
It's a fucking it's a basically it's like a racer almost. It's like it's a racer, but at the same time there was like almost like objective style. Like you can either race or you can like or you could basically the like right around. It's like a battle mode almost, and it
Okay.
was like pretty dope. Like and it also, for weirdly enough, it supported like GameCube's LAN play using broadband adapters,
Huh.
and you could play with up to 4 GameCube systems. But then again, who the fuck had a LAN adapter for GameCube?
I have no idea because I don't know many games that would have been supported.
Exactly, and it's like the game itself, like it got mixed reviews. Its lowest score, like I guess out of 10 scale, was 5.2.
Hmm.
So I mean uh they referred to it, it mainly referred to it as like it's a throwaway title, but I really liked it. It was a really, like, I thought it was a really well put together game. Like uh, the way the graphics were, they were fucking on point. Like I fuck if I can plug in a GameCube right now, I'd fucking play it. Because it's like it's one of those games that I played a lot of for no particular reason, because I thought it was fun. So I mean, if you think about it, like you can pick a whole bunch of different characters from the Kirby series, and you can just fucking fly around on these vehicles, and then like you can race, or you can have like a battle mode. We did mostly the battle mode, so I mean, it was pretty dope. Uh, I mean, that's me basically. I mean, what do you got one?
Yeah, so like, I'm torn.
Mass Effect 3?
No. Although some people would be like, "Oh, that's the worst game ever because I didn't like the ending," and it's like, well, I guess throw out the whole rest of the game, right?
Because the ending makes the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like, don't get me wrong, like it wasn't a great ending, but like, I don't know, just the way people were just like, let's just throw the whole series sucks now.
Okay, before we get too far into that.
Yeah. I guess as far as like a game, I don't think a ton of people know about. um, I'd probably go with Rogue Legacy.
Okay.
I think it might be a little more known now because it eventually, if like eventually made its way to PS4 and Xbox. Um, like way after the fact. But originally, I think it came out in like 2013. But I don't think it came out on PS4 and Xbox till last year. Um, it's like it's what is it like? It's like it's a quote unquote roguelike game. But basically, like it has permadeath, so when you die with your character, that character's dead. But like your your line lives on. It's a platformer slash like it's kind of like almost like Castlevania style.
Okay.
Like there's part platforming, part like you're fighting enemies. I guess it was that action game. I don't know. But it's a really fun game. I probably played through it because like you can keep playing through over and over, and the game just gets more and more difficult. Um, I think I got to like new game plus like 4 or 5. But it actually does kind of take a long time to get through it. I actually had to I had to force myself to stop playing because it was really addictive. Um,
Well, that's
but
fucking.
that's a game that's pretty well received by people that have actually played it. So
So
if I had to
basically,
go,
it's universally panned by people that didn't play it.
yeah, well, no, I think because it's an indie game, it's like people that reviewed it liked it, but I mean like it's not like super popular or
But they
anything.
didn't like really play it to
And
its full
it's not
potential, you
like
think?
yeah, and it's not even and it's not like one of the biggest indie games of all time or anything. You know what I mean? Like it's no Braid or Super Meat Boy or Undertale or
Well, don't get too far now. Undertale's not quite there yet.
well,
I
I mean
said
as
it.
far as
I
indie
said it
games.
again. I said it again.
I said indie games.
I said it
I think
again.
it's far enough along to say among indie games
I said it again.
specifically.
But then again, I am playing it right now, so I mean,
Yeah. So like it's not on a huge scale for even for an indie game. It's not really on a huge scale. So that's probably the one I'd go with. As far as games that people probably think sucks, Spider-Man: Shattered Dimensions
god damn.
was a good. I thought it was a good game. All Spider-Man things aside, I actually thought it was a really cool concept and really executed pretty well. But most Spider-Man games aren't that great.
Well, if I had to pick one like that, it'd probably be Shadow Hearts.
Yeah.
I don't have no. I cannot tell you why I like that game. I just did. All right, I can't explain it to you. I don't even know if I still have the fucking game, really.
That's probably there somewhere.
Maybe. Shit, I did finally find the case for Animal Crossing that was missing for like a year. Holy shit. But anyway, like I can't even tell you like why I like that game, but fuck man, I did play through the whole thing and I beat it. So
Yeah.
fuck you want from me. Um, but yeah. So those are three things we decided to talk about. So I mean what the hell? Hit us up with like, comment, subscribe, hit us up for with any of these reactions to any of these three things we talked about. So we want to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like, comment, subscribe. I want to hear how you don't agree with us. No,
Yeah.
I guess at least on the
I want to
third
hear
part.
how Rogue Legacy and Spider-Man: Shattered Dimensions are
Well,
terrible games and I shouldn't recommend them
anyway, with that said, this is the Kings of Rice.
anyway. Awesome, huh?
Peace out.